And John works very hard to keep them out of trouble in their travels.
John, when he was on campus, was a member of the sailing team. He now coaches sailing for CMC and has dealt with literally hundreds of students in their PE class in sailing. John has been very active with the International Students Association. He has been the president of that association. Every year he hosts international students at his house. In fact, my assumption is that they're just about ready to name his house as an adjacent dorm for CMC because it always has either a visiting alumnus, an international student, or someone living with him there at that time. But of course, CMC is not John's only interest in terms of service to his community. He is a former president of the Recording for the Blind and Dyslexics. He is a member of the Claremont Community Foundation. He is a former president of the Mount Baldy United Way. He works in the Fairplex educational group, working with my wife, Jill. If there is any community activity that John, in turn around the Claremont area, not involved in, I'm certainly not aware of it. John is really a remarkable fellow. I've got to tell you a story. As George Benson, who many of you know and remember, was aging, he was moving into, both Catherine and George were moving into Alzheimer's. John used to call on George, would take him to lunch. And the fact of the matter is, I went to lunch a few times with him, and George had decided that John was one of his sons. He paid that kind of attention to George Benson. This was not part of his responsibility, but an outreaching of a man whose sense of compassion was overwhelming. In my last couple of years at CMC, I tried to initiate what might be called an honor theme for CMC. As West Point has the theme of honor, duty, country, I tried to institute the theme of integrity, commitment, and achievement. John Faranda fits that, but I wasn't quite far enough. If I was describing John, I would also add the word compassion. So it would be integrity, commitment, achievement, compassion. John, of course, has some faults. It is very seldom that you would find John Faranda in his office at 8 o'clock in the morning. It is almost all the time you would find him in his office after midnight. A 60-hour week is a vacation week for John. His commitment to CMC is just overwhelming. The rumor is that if John cut himself, he would bleed maroon. It is my great pleasure to award to John Faranda the first John Faranda Student Service Award. This is a perpetual award.
Thank you. Well, please have a seat. I'm going to be quick because we do have to get on schedule here, Rick. It's just such a surprise and an honor. Okay. It's such a surprise and an honor to have this wonderful recognition, and I do feel I need to share it with a lot of people, and especially to thank Jack and Jill and John Keats for taking me on 25 years ago at CMC. Who knew that I could have devoted the now majority of my life to the college, and it's really been a wonderful journey for me. And of course, the ability to work with wonderful people, Pamela Gann, our president, Harry McMahon, and all of the wonderful volunteers that I have worked with through the years. So many of them are in this room, and my colleagues, Pete Welsh and Steve Siegel, and others who've done so much to help assist me and guide me in my journey of helping CMC and our students. It's really a remarkable achievement, and the friendships that I have made working with all of you in the room and many others who aren't here tonight really are golden memories that I treasure and share with my family, my mom, and my friends, and it's really wonderful to accept this, and thank you very much for surprising me, Rick.